Hello everybody and welcome to my first public mini review. So I've started doing mini reviews for Patreon and I'm going to continue doing mini reviews for Patreon. It's going to be mainly a Patreon based thing. Again, if you want to join my Patreon, we'll leave a link to that in the description. However, I do want to do some public mini reviews because I watch a lot of films and there's a lot of films I want to spread to the world and let you guys know about. I know from my streams that a lot of you guys are really into your films, so yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this. If you do, please leave a like and subscribe if you want to help support me and my channel. Let's dive right in. So I just saw The Night Comes for Us, directed by Timo Tjahjanto, very hard name to pronounce. This film blew me away. It blew me away completely. This is a director and writer that people need to recognize and to see. So this is why I really wanted to talk about this, because he's Indonesian and these are Indonesian films, of course, but this is the guy behind, in my opinion, the best segment of VHS 2. This is also the guy behind May the Devil Take You, which is a fantastic Indonesian horror film that you can see on Netflix right now. It's very, very inspired by The Evil Dead, and I like that. A lot of gore and violence, and The Night Comes for Us is no different. This is an incredibly bloody and violent film, but the reason why this film blew me away completely is because this film has some of the best fight choreography I've ever seen, if not the best fight choreography I've ever seen. If you guys have seen some films with fantastic fight choreography, you probably know of The Raid and The Raid 2. I thought after The Raid 2 I'm never going to see anything like that again because it is so well done. This isn't fight scenes where it's quick cut nonsense where you can barely see what's going on, the camera's all over the place shaking. Nah, none of that. Camera stays very still, focused on the two people that are fighting. You can see them perfectly performing all of these moves, and I think it's great. I think one thing we need to take from martial arts films like this is that they know how to do a fight properly. When you have films like The Phantom Menace, for example, the Duel of the Fates, the lightsaber battle at the end with Darth Maul, yes, it's well choreographed, but it doesn't look like they're really fighting. It looks like they're performing a dance. They're not getting tired, they're just going at the same pace for the whole thing. Whereas in this film, when it comes to some of the main fights, they get tired, they get bloody, they get injured, they're barely functioning by the end, they've been stabbed, punched, and I think it's done really well, because that makes it so tense, because you're like, oh my god, they're actually killing each other, they're gonna die. But it's brilliant. It's got a very sort of anime feel to it, in the sense of it being so like over the top, and there are some really anime kind of characters with special weapons. Like there's this one girl that has like this ball on razor wire and she spins it round and sort of rips through people's tendons and stuff. It's quite fantastic. But what an amazing film. Fantastic soundtrack, gets your heart pumping unlike anything I've seen in a long time. I really recommend this film. I can't stress how good this film is enough. And yeah, as I said, it is incredibly violent, incredibly gory, so if you're not into that sort of stuff, you probably won't like it. It's not just your typical martial arts. There's a lot of knives involved, a lot of butcher's hooks and machetes. But basically the story is about the Triads, and it is about these gang bosses called the 6 C's. So there's 6 of them that have joined together to make sure that there are no problems between all of the gangs and everyone works together. And one of these 6 C's bosses is carrying out all these murders, all these mass shootings, and there's one moment where he sees this girl, this young child girl, and is about to kill her, but instead he kills all of his men, takes the girl and goes rogue. That's how the film starts. The rest of the film is basically him struggling to get away with this girl, to get her to safety, and it's a constant battle, fight after fight after fight from then on out, and I think it is just wonderful. It has some of the actors from the Raid 2, so these are guys that know fight choreography incredibly well, like incredibly well. I don't know how they do these fight scenes, I just don't know. It's so incredible when they're mixing in all these practical gore effects in the middle of these very well choreographed fights. I don't know how they do it. It is absolutely amazing. This film gets a 7.1 out of 10 on IMDb, and I think it absolutely deserves that. It gets a 69 on Metacritic. This is on Netflix right now. Go check it out. Obviously it has subtitles, but that's not a problem in general, but that's also not a problem because there's lots of fight scenes. It really does get to me when people won't watch a film just because they have to read. It's a bit silly, but obviously for some people it can be frustrating, or people with sight problems and that sort of stuff, it can be a bit difficult. So in that sense I understand. Yeah, seriously, check it out, guys. It is absolutely off the wall, crazy, mental, tense, thrilling action, unlike anything I've seen this year or for many, many years previous. And if you enjoy this and you haven't seen The Raid or The Raid 2, definitely go check those films out. This is martial arts at its best, at its absolute finest, and I am giving this one an 8 out of 10.